Good evening, everyone. I am removing my mask as I am staying indoors in my room, but wearing mask outside is compulsory. Mask is a must when you are out. This is the hospitality show live to you from Mega Classic Banquets, Borivali West. This hospitality show, which was started some 10-11 episodes before, has had a numerous number of distinguished guests coming on the show and giving up their comments. This is being seen all over the world from many countries, from our industry, as well as from other fraternities as well. This show is powered by good resorts and hotels all over India and all over the world, and is being live from our banquet hall. You can watch this show live, and if you would not get time, you can see it on our YouTube channel and Dr. Ananth Vaidyanathan Facebook page, which will be live after half an hour of the show. You can also post your comments, which will be answered instantly, or you can post my comments in the numbers scrolling down in my mobile number, and we'll be happy there to correspond with you. Welcome to the show. I request Dimple Madani to give an intro about today's chief guest, Mr. Rahul.
Thank you, sir. Namaste and good evening to all our online viewers. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Hospitality Show, hosted by Dr. Ananth Vaidyanathan, CEO Touch of Class, in conversation with Mr. Rahul Rora. Mr. Rahul Rora, Managing Director of Rora Hospitality, has done his MBA in Hospitality Finance from Les Rogers Hotel Management School, Switzerland, BBA from University of Kent, Canterbury. Mr. Rahul Rora owns and operates Hotel Executive Enclave at Pali Hill, Bandra, Veranda, Bandra, Terra Rooftop, cocktail bar, and number of delivery kitchen brands such as Space Wings, Doop Noodles, and Veranda on Wheels. Mr. Rahul Rora is the son of Suresh and Veena Rora, brother of Monish Rora, husband of Nupur Rora, with 3 beautiful children, Raya, Raina, and Ranveer. Mr. Rahul Rora has won multiple awards for COVID relief and work from Lions Club, Rotary Club, Mumbai Police, and other NGOs. Below are the list of his awards and achievements. Veranda Bandra, Mumbai's Best Modern Indian Restaurant 2019 by Elite Magazine. Executive Enclave, Indian Hospitality and Tourism Award by IED and RA 2016. Executive Enclave, Government of India Department of Tourism for outstanding performance in hotel industry, West Region 2004. Executive Enclave, the 20 best hotels in Mumbai by CNN 2017. So ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, please welcome Mr. Rahul Rora.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, very good evening from Mumbai. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rahul. It's been indeed pleasure to have you on the show, which is so many things I think you will be able to share with us because of your great generosity, whatever you have done in the pandemic. And I take the pleasure on behalf of this industry to welcome you on this show. So let me first ask you, before starting your career in finishing your studies and you directly jumped into Executive Enclave, or did you have any trainings done in some other hotels or so?
So, sir, as you know, like ma'am introduced, I had done my master's in business administration and finance at École Les Roches in Switzerland. So over there, I had the chance of working for the needs and affirmations of the Indian clientele for the Beau Rivage Palace at Lausanne. So that was a good 6-month task that I had done. And before that, I was involved with a person in Pune where we had opened a restaurant together called Blue Fire. And before that, I had done multiple jobs at my university bars and student pubs. So hospitality is like something in the blood. When I was probably 30 years old, I must have learned driving by parking the guest cars in my hotel. So
Oh,
it's something that always attracted me. I always found my calling at hospitality, and it's not only a career choice; it's a way of living for me. So my job experiences have always gone in hand with where I've been or where I've been doing my education and so on. Post 2010, I've been with my family business and working for, and now I think since the last 5 to 6 years, I've been managing it as the managing director, where my father has taken a little bit of a backseat.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I want the viewers to know about Mr. Rahul's school days, college days, his datings, his girlfriend, and whatnot, whatnot, whatnot.
So, sir, I was an extremely good student.
Oh,
I mean,
Audilia cannot
my
be a good
headmaster
student.
kept
That's
my.
not possible. Goes.
I was an extremely pious student. So pious was I that my headmaster had kept my name at Good Shepherd International School, where I did my 10th, as ACDC. That means Antichrist, Devil's Child. So I was extremely pious with every methodology. I mean, post that, I was in the Canadian School of Bangalore, where,
Okay.
I mean, some of my friends from our groups and everyone, we remember our school days, and we can't just sometimes believe how naughty we were, what were the things that we did then. And now how in life we have all settled down and changed, come an entire 360-degree around. Girlfriends, I don't think you would want to know about it now. And I have 3 children.
Anyway, very polishly you escaped from the question. Now you tell me, I know this executive enclave. Can you know when was this executive enclave opened in Mumbai and how many rooms capacity it is and what are the measurement sizes of the room for the viewers to know about it?
Sure, sir. So the hotel actually was previously known as Hotel Commando, and it started at the year 1982.
Oh,
But by the year 1999, my family took over and started buying shares into the hotel. And by 2001, we rebranded the property as Executive Enclave. And we had started with 55 rooms, out of which we have 12 suite rooms and 43 rooms are deluxe rooms. The suite rooms are 400 to 420 square feet, whereas the deluxe and the superior rooms vary between 220 and 250 square feet. So then it's not a really big room size, but what we lack in space, we try to catch up with good services, personalized service, full stock minibar, coffee machine, high-end teas, high-end bathroom amenities. And so because we are located in a very strategic location, which is Bandra West, and we are at Pali Hill, so the expectations of the clients in and around our neighborhood have a different. Even somebody who's coming from another city like Dubai or somewhere in Africa, when they're coming for medical tourism or something, when they stay in Mumbai at Bandra, they have a different expectation of Indian hospitality versus going to, say, even Pune or Bangalore. So we try to give that to our guests, and this has been a mantra of Executive Enclave since I think 1999, since when my family started doing business there.
wonderful, wonderful. So do you feel to have lean and agile hospitality business only the way forward?
Uh, I think in our WhatsApp chats, I did mention this to you that the only way we are surviving nowadays is if we keep a really thin organization. And thin, I mean, in terms of your fixed cost, your utility cost, your human resource cost, and every which way. So some of the places where at Executive Enclave we have benefited is during the pandemic, we added a 50 kVA solar farm on the rooftop of our hotel. That
Okay.
helped bring us our energy cost by nearly 50% down. Then with the staff, we came up with a way in which we gave all, instead of laying them off, we gave everybody a 4-day week schedule at the same salaries and somehow to keep them all and they have been extremely cooperative throughout the pandemic. I mean, our servers have become delivery boys, knowing the challenge we have with the aggregators and their discounting and their commission. So we try to swing them into our direct business. And mind you, we started Veranda in 2015, 15th August. Before that, we had started Cafeteria Rooftop Place at 2016, 15th August. So now all our brands, which were, say, a dish that was available in Veranda, cannot be necessarily be served to somebody in their house in the same format. So we've come up with almost QSR type of dishes, bringing the cost down so that the aggregators, even after they pinch us with their commissions, our food cost kind of helps us to make some, dream from that business. So yes, I mean, extremely important today. Survivability is number one thing that is come together. Going green, having green technology, and also as hoteliers, we should not expect hoteliers, restaurateurs, or F&B people. We shouldn't expect our current incumbent government, state or central, to come and help us because, quite frankly, they are incapable to do it. We have to help ourselves. We have to find ways how to start our own businesses bit by bit, brick by brick. Yes, there were times where we used to sell rooms for 12,000, 10,000. Today, the same rooms I'm selling for 4,000. But how to bring down the housekeeping cost, how to do your own laundry in the hotel, how to cut your own electricity cost, how to make your staff cooperate with you in such a way that they all have jobs as well as they are contributing to the value chain in your organization. I think this sort of lean, agile agility is extremely important for us to survive today.
Very nice. We are going a very tough time, and we are sure that the times will pass over and we will come back on track with the rhinos, like rhinos. Now, what is your take on the cloud kitchen, and where do you see that from now on?
So, to be extremely honest with you, Veranda was a Veranda and Cafeteria as well as the banquets are full-on dine-in formats where we expect people to come and eat with us in our property. Now, once the pandemic began, we realized that we needed to quickly change and come up with low-cost food products like rolls, noodle boxes, meals, and burgers, and QSR type of low-cost food that we could format under our same brands and send people at home instead of doing our full-blown, say butter chicken ravioli or something what Veranda is known for. So we can only serve that hot in our restaurant. So at home, we need to adapt. We need to change the format. We need to make our food still quirky, stand out when in the listings in different aggregators. They should be looking unique, looking out there. And so cloud kitchen is something which came to us very new. And today I can proudly say that it's almost a business for us like banquets or our restaurants, where we have managed to create 3, 4 brands in our same kitchen, just of different names, and doing specialized. Say we'd have a brand called Dope Noodle. So we only do noodles over there of different starch, such as either black bean, quinoa, or spinach. The noodles are made of that, and then we add the different proteins and everything. So it instead of doing an entire Chinese brand with 1,000 items in it, and then keeping that much stock of all those things, you make a very specialized, quirky, very limited kind of QSR menu, but specialized to a single cloud kitchen brand. And you do the same with other. So you can, mind you can use one kitchen to come up with 4 or 5 brands, a roll brand, a biryani brand, a noodle brand, and keep it unique, have a good quirky name for it and adapt. I guess that has been our mantra to do the cloud kitchen game. Mind you, in cloud kitchen, the most important thing is to convert the customer that comes through an aggregator into your direct customer. So you can do that by sending fortune cookies. You can do that by sending little notes. You can do that by sending discount coupons in your bags. You can do that in multiple different ways. But the idea that they should call you next time. So one of the ways that we do this is that with us, in case a Swiggy guy, before he comes, we can see we tell the Swiggy guy that we want to come with you if it's a guest close by, and we want to deliver the food with you. So we go with the Swiggy guy to the guest house. One of our restaurant captain goes and he gives a menu and say, "Ma'am, call from us next time. This is my name. You can give me a call. Please do, directly or in the phone." He talks to the guest and tells them, that way. So it's all about now making your own local relationships and making people depend on your brand for having a good experience and a good value, no matter what time in the night you're providing it.
So, how does if your food business has expanded very well? You mean to say because of the cloud kitchens?
Yes, so cloud kitchens have expanded in business, but it has not helped us expand our bottom line. I mean, the
Okay.
aggregators, yeah, the way they take away all the profits and then the deep discounting of just throwing out a 60% off in July and so on and so forth, and then forcing you
Yeah,
to be a part of those. This is
they
this
are
is
celebrating their
it's
birthdays
it's
in
gonna.
another
It's all, I sometimes feel we almost work for Adani, Swiggy, Zomato, and you know. So yes, Cloud Kitchen is a great platform to get your word out, to be relevant with the client. The client knows that okay, Veranda is doing rolls now. Veranda is doing biryanis, or the same guys are doing a noodle brand. The same people are doing, say, a dim sum or something else like that. So it helps to keep your brand relevant by providing a good produced, low cost product to the guest. But what is the key in this is to keep your food cost low. You cannot go with lamb racks. You can't go with crabs. You can't go with good fish. I mean, that is going to burn you out, and the aggregators are going to really keep, all the slice of the cake, so to say.
wonderful. How does your family help you on your business, Mr. Rahul?
Oh, so we call ourselves a completely family-run business, and what I
Okay.
mean by that is my younger brother. He's a chef from Le Cordon Bleu, and he's
Oh,
done his masters and diploma at Le Roche as well with me. And he's got a lot of industrial experience. He's worked for Brian McCain in the Forbidden Square. He's worked at Turks and Caicos. He's worked at a couple of Michelin star chefs. And 2016 is when he started the concept of Veranda with the modern Indian food. And so we are a family business. Nothing, not even a potato comes into my hotel without my mother's, you know, calling
oh,
for it on Hyperpure or Zoom. Yes. So we are a completely run business, and what we've figured out is that the easier we divide our work with each other and do not interfere, and a role is played like every 3 months, I am the managing director, and for the next 3 months, my younger brother is the managing director while I travel and take a holiday with my family. So we keep it with one point guard, but four players. And I mean, that has been one of the ways that we have. I mean, the four most important people of the organization are all in house and sometimes working for free in the pandemic. I guess that's what has helped us survive. Yeah.
does your father still gets involved in the business?
Yeah. So all major financial decisions after a
Okay.
certain amount or something big cannot
Okay.
cannot be passed without a family sit down and everything. So he is the guidance of everything. My wife also runs a art and home decor store all over our restaurant and places by the name of Cocoon. My younger brother's wife does all the banquet decor, and so it's a full package.
A full complete hoteliers family events. And your
Yes.
future generation will also want to come like that. Take it the other way around. Very nice.
So being a hospitality profession is about doing seva, and in doing such a good noble cause of seva, if you are making your means by to get by as well in the world, I think is one of the most beautiful industry. We meet like the most amazing people, from all walks of life when they come to our restaurants or they come here. And what brings them to us is food, something that their mom is good at, something that their wives are good at, and they come to us repetitively because they love food. So it's a very privileged place. In India, unfortunately, we look at it like an unskilled kind of industry and this, but in reality, I feel feeding people is one of the most noble works or professions you can do. So it's immensely, yes, it is something that we ingrain in our children as well. That I would love my children, at least out of the three, one of them to be in hospitality with me.
Very nice, very nice. Now you tell me, Mr. Rahul, I'm going to ask you a question because I have seen you as yourself as a frontline warrior in this COVID pandemic times. There are many who have been doing it, but your job, as far as the hotel industry is concerned, we all feel proud the way you have taken lead as a frontline warrior. What made you do so? Why did you do so? And what is that inner strength you have to do?
So thank you so much, sir, for appreciating our COVID work that we have done. To tell you honestly, our COVID work began by just a few bunch of friends of my younger brother, uh, Zaf and Monish, and everybody getting together and going, let's do something for the migrants. Let's find a way that we can put some money. So we opened a Keto page and we started a campaign called Feed the Needy. What ended up happening was that campaign ended up going viral and we accumulating almost 50 lakh rupees. So
Oh,
we had a big responsibility on us where we had to make sure we were transparent and we were doing an organized work, organized job, and not just blindly, just throwing food here or there. So we used our hotel with whatever staff that time we had during the lockdown to uh, divide huge uh, rations used to come in these big gonies. So we should
hmm.
divide them into 3 kilo or 5 or 3 kilo sacks of rice, 2 kilo of dal, 1 liter of oil, and basic essentials. Even sanitary pad for women. And we would go to every. First, we started off with the 3 or 4 main slums in Bandra, which was the Bhan, Danda, Pali Patthar, and our Almeida Park. And what we did over there was we spoke to all the village, the heads of that, the Pradhan type of people, and we went Koli to Koli and gave everybody ration. But that was not enough. So a time came when we were getting calls from the senior PI of Dharavi, when Dharavi was in a very bad shape. He please help us. So we were doing relief in Dharavi. We were doing relief in with Spreading Smiles, another organization at another place in Pille Pale, Ghat Kopar. We had reached Navi Mumbai. So
Oh,
it was an immensely proud feeling for us to have managed to have reached 80,000 homes with our ration packets. And in this was a collective effort by a lot of other people and volunteers from all political, non-political NGOs who were doing it in the beginning for the migrants. And during that time, I got COVID. So
oh,
when I got I was a super spreader, so I spread the COVID in my entire family. It started from me, then my brother. So I think it was the 21st of May when I got all my symptoms and everything. And by June, we recovered. And when we recovered, we found out about the plasma donation program at Nair Hospital. And over there, only 15 people out of 65,000 recovered people in Mumbai had come to donate their plasma. And they needed 100 people to complete the study. So that's when it started our campaign of, plasma donation. And I went to my local, again, because see, police, frontline workers, hospital doctors were what we were in touch with. Normal people were all hiding behind in their houses and not coming out of their houses in the first 40, 45 days. So we went to the police inspector of Khar and I told him that I need COVID recovered people. He said there are 18 in my police station. And he gave me 18 people who became the very first policemen in India to donate the plasma, and their efforts was even appreciated by the chief minister. So that was another immensely proud feeling for me. And then on, I was just in the plasma donation. So I am a 5-time plasma donor. Monish is a 3-time plasma donor. About 7 of my staff are 2 to 3 or 4-time plasma donors. So we were probably at the first wave, we were the plasma bank of MGM and Nair and all like hospitals that used to call us, or the patients and families used to do a cry of help and say, please help my family member, do something. And plasma was really mismanaged in a big way, where they were giving it as the last resource, which had no effectiveness. It was to be given early to the elderly, pregnant, and vulnerable people. But see, mistakes do happen by any government that is learning to run a pandemic. But when the ICMR removed plasma from their treatment of COVID, it was a big sigh of relief for people like us because we stopped getting those calls from those, desperate family people who would call us and say, please, yeah, koi laake de do, inko bolo, please, yeah. And that was something that, so now after plasma donation, we are now most of our time we say, okay, plasma didn't work, but vaccinations do work. So now the only campaign that I'm getting involved with is mission vaccination. And that is something I would love to talk to you more about.
No, I do know that you did a recently a big vaccination drive at the Poda school, and I was trying to send most of my hoteliers, at least 900, 1,000 people from my different hotels came and took their first jab there. It was bigger because if it was not you, we wouldn't have been able to do that in that economical price because in this pandemic situation, everybody had a short of money, everything, and you arranged it so gracefully with so much of dedication and determination. Hats off to you, sir. Salute to you, sir. That's all I can say to you. I have been a little part with whatever I could do with you. But I am sure a man like you can make wonders. And the way you have worked in this pandemic, I salute you, sir. That's all I can tell you. I have no words to say because I am a very emotional guy. So I would like to just keep my words intact by saying you. Many people did not come out, and you went ahead of after you tested positive. You went ahead of giving plasma donation also, which requires a lot of courage and a lot of inside built what do you call it, that kind of love for a human being. That's all I can call it as. Now you tell me, Mr. Rahul, how many COVID tests must have you done in your hotel? You were doing RT-PCR tests also in your hotel, right?
So, last year when Monish and I were trying to get ourselves tested in May, we found it extremely difficult to test ourselves. You know, so we went everywhere, and it was taking us 2 3 days. So we got tested on the 26th, and he
My
got COVID on the 21st. So
oh,
we realized that this this is this is really difficult for somebody in Bandra to do. So let's do something about this. So we started immediately. We contacted people at Suburban Diagnostic, and we told them, "आप आ जाओ हमारे hotel में. You keep a COVID test center." They said, "Oh, we don't have budget." We said, "Whatever you want to give, give. Don't want to give, don't give." And we started a COVID vaccination drive-through. It was Mumbai or probably India's first drive-through COVID vaccination center. Where you would sit in your car and get tested in your car. But we went above and beyond than that, and we told everybody that you don't even need a doctor's prescription to come and do the COVID test. So
oh,
we received a lot of heat for it. But we told whoever was calling the authorities of BMC and all, sir, there is illegal, legal, but now we are looking at practical. If people want to get tested, they should easily get tested. Then I had my family members tell me, Rahul, you've started COVID center in your hotel. Nobody will come to your hotel. Your hotel is a taboo. And this collectivist mindset of people to taboo something they don't understand or to look at it in a negative light is the greatest Achilles heel of our Indian society, collectivism. You know, Today we have done more than 40,000 COVID tests. Every day we do about an average of 60, 70, 80 tests. And not only that, people choose my hotel that they can stay, get themselves tested, take a flight and leave, come to Bombay, stay at the hotel only, take a test and go. Today, my COVID test drive-through has become one of the best USPs of my hotel. So,
oh.
you know, if you have a noble thought to something and you continue to do it, I think over time we can make those collectivist people and the taboo break. That has been the lesson of my COVID test center at least.
So you mean to say you were testing them all free of cost?
No, Suburban Diagnostic charges the government rate. I think currently the rate is about 600 rupees. And as the rates were getting below 1800, 1500, 1200, and this, we were charging as per the government. I have given Suburban Diagnostic my watchman's cabin so that cars can just, because my property has two roads. It has
Yeah.
Ambedkar Road and 21st Road. So I've given them a drive-through, which is completely exclusive to my property. So cars can come and go from there all day, and people can get tested. The idea was to make testing extremely accessible. That's also something that we are currently trying to do with vaccination.
So Sanjay Arora was the man. Suburban Sanjay Arora was the man, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Sanjay Arora, yes, sir.
Very nice gentleman.
He's also extremely. Yes. Yes.
I remember when I was the general manager of Time and Again, his father had his 50th anniversary celebrations in my banquet hall. That is how we know Mr. Sanjay Arora from Gujarat. Very nice people to be really very nice people to interact. Tell me, Mr. Rahul, do you still give the rooms for quarantine?
Yes, sir. Extremely. I think it's extremely important for hotels to allocate a certain area of their hotel, first floor, second floor, give entire floors, and give it for quarantine. Because quarantining a foreign traveler or a thing is your role that you can play to break the chain. We have had people who have come, stayed in a hotel, tested positive, and we have helped them break the chain by remaining in a hotel. It is
Oh,
not difficult. It doesn't go to your staff. You have to keep good processes, good safety protocols. You have to use a lot of, contactless kind of giving food and everything to the room. Just how you would take care of a family member in your house. See, I have seen cases where in a house somebody is positive and the rest of the family is negative because they have taken the correct care. It is easily possible even in a hotel. As hoteliers, we have to play our role because if we don't, we have an immensely great weight of this pandemic going to be borne by very unfortunate people of our society.
wow. Indeed. I don't know how many hoteliers did this, but I am hearing it that you have done it to a level where people were quarantined and treated for COVID. With this note, Mr. Rahul, let us
Thank you.
take a small break. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Sure, sir.
So, Pradeep, welcome back, Mr. Rahul. This
Thank you,
was the
sir.
property of Wits Hotels and Resorts, which is our friend, Mr. Vikram Kamath. And this show is powered by Wits Hotels and Resorts. And I should be very thankful to him because he was the first man when I told him I'm starting this hospitality show. I asked him to be as a first guest, and he immediately responded for it. And that is how the show has been growing leaps and bounds. Now, coming back to the subject as our hotel industry is, As a hotelier and as you say, your family run business, how good are you at the kitchen, Mr. Rao? And what is your favorite dish?
So my wife calls me the world's worst cook. I mean,
Oh,
I consider myself as a good cook. I used to, in university, I used to cook chicken curry, mutton curry with friends and all, and they used to really love it. But somehow I've lost my touch because I have a Michelin star chef in my own house, my younger brother, so it's very difficult to match up to his level. And I'm an extremely bad cook. But however, I'm a big foodie. I mean, and when I see entrepreneurs with their own brands, sometimes is it like a Paris Poi in Goa or a Prana Cafe in Goa or in Mumbai when you go to a Boji Cafe and you have their avocado toast with truffle oil. And I really love food. So I have a lot of favorite dishes. I would say Lasa curry, Prana Cafe, my everyday morning avocado toast at Boji in Mumbai, Bandra. I mean, so, and I love businesses where entrepreneurs are standing there themselves, and there's a different work culture there. There's a different cleanliness culture there. There's a different love for the food that goes out, and and I'm really happy to support such small businesses. And I mean, I go there every day. Like literally, Boji would be every day. If I was in Goa, I would go every day to a Prana or a Paris Poi. So yes.
okay. So let me ask you, when do you think our business will come into normality, Rob? Because as we saw a pandemic first wave come across, then we opened for some days, then we have to shut shop. When do you think we will come back to normality?
So unfortunately, here from a very positive guy, I kind of become a little, like negative or the rate at which we are doing vaccination in our country is appalling. I mean, just reaching 5%, while other countries have reached figures of 40, 50, 60, 70%. It's not going to go away. So we are going to have multiple waves. It's a perfect hotspot for new variants and new type of waves to keep coming. And until the government of India does not get its act together and comes up with a concrete plan rather than just some announcement that we're going to do it for everybody for free and all, unless they don't come up with some sort of a concrete plan that by December we're looking to do all, for example, essential services by this, and by next March we are looking to do all, you know, it's not going to come around. You're going to have people wait in queues, 1,000 people, 100 people get vaccination, 900 go back without a dose, and private drives are happening in small pockets, small places. The accessibility to vaccines is not yet like fully blown, and if it's not coming out in full amount, I think the government should be held accountable. That's why it has not come out, and it has to come up with a roadmap, a plan, and present it to people. And we all should be asking the way out of this pandemic. Today, we have elected a government to lead us. So it's time that they lead us rather than bearing upon us and putting the weight and pressures of governance on soft targets, and especially hospitality industry. We've been the soft target, as well as indiscriminately the weight of the pandemic has been on our shoulders. So it is something that the government should take note of, how they can give relief to this industry, how they can provide vaccination quickly to this industry, how they can create a compliance structure. I mean, knowing your banquet hall, I know that Dr. Ananth will take extremely good care of COVID protocols, of masks, of vaccinating his staff, of keeping you. There is no reason why you should be closed while markets and hawkers on the streets of Danda and everywhere, it's crowded like beyond belief. You go to anywhere, Mohammad Ali Road and everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. It's non-scientific. It is completely biased, as well as uh, picking out soft targets of genuine taxpayers and people who actually contribute to the hotel and hospitality industry.
But do you think the government hasn't acted at all? The government has been totally, I do not know reasons better known to them. But do you think, well, the government or the central government, because as such, in the last week end, there was no vaccination available. in any of the vaccination centers in Mumbai. And today, the vaccination centers were open only for 3 hours in the whole of the Mumbai. In this style, if it goes, and if it is going to be only the hotel industry people who will want to, what do you call, who will be affected only because of this, and we see hawkers who are not having any licenses, nothing. They are making a whole lot of money with prices. Vada pav has gone to 40 rupees now, and they are making melting money like anything. But we, as genuine people, taken all the licenses. We paid our money for the alcohol licenses. Everything we have done. But why are we taken for a ride? And why should we be like we are like clowns now? We are not. We are not able to do our business. In fact, we are the industry who give job opportunities to so many people. And you, as well as me, know very well. We are not ready to leave our staff. We try because we are as a family. That is how we get connected to our staff. And this government or the central government hasn't bothered to look after us. And it is so pathetic. We do not know when will this go off. And it doesn't mean that after 4 o'clock we do not serve food, and after 4 o'clock only Corona knocks each and every restaurant and gets and mingles with the crowd there. It is, I think, it is high stupidity what we are living with. What is your take on this?
I completely agree with you, sir. I completely agree with you, sir, on this topic. And I think what lacks over here is clubbing hospitality business with tourism. In reality, if we have a tourism and a tourism ministry, we should have a hospitality ministry. I mean, that's the only way forward. Because if an airline industry, which is a minuscule size of the entirety of our hospitality business in India, can have its own ministry, I fail to understand why can't hotels. And this misrepresentation happens at a local level, state level, as well as a national level. I feel all governments have failed us today. It's us who have to look out for each other. If a group of hoteliers can get together and make a small finance scheme for other hotels or businesses to stand up on their feet, also amongst ourselves, calling out the predatory brands that are actually taking advantage of this time and taking over small businesses in an aggressive manner. Also, another area that we all should come together with is how can we help the people who have got laid off due to the pandemic, or the children in our industry who have lost either one or two of their parents in the pandemic. I mean, it is extremely. I'll tell you something. When the BMC in the first wave did not have enough rooms to give out, they took over all the hotels in Mumbai as a quarantine center. That made us all frontline workers. That put our staff in harm's way. We were standing shoulder to shoulder with doctors, nurses, and every BMC worker, the police, and everyone. Why is it that today we do not have the right to ask for our share on the table in terms of vaccination or safety or starting our businesses? It is completely out of my. See, I am a single person, but I believe there is strength in unity, and I would like all our various associations, like we have very efficient association of FHRAI, HRAI, NRAI. We have so many good associations. I think they all should come together and voice in a single voice of what we need from the central government and state government as a policy, whether it's related with waiving of property taxes, whether it's paying a part of our provident funds for our employees. Around the world, governments have helped hospitality industry. How long will the Indian government remain silent is something that is waiting to be seen, even at an international level. Today, you and I are talking about it. We are not shying away from it. It is a conversation that we all should and must have.
So I hope we are speaking reach the right ears, and they at least take care in some other ways and bring back this industry into normality and make some families. Because see, I have seen many of my hotelier friends committing suicide and dying. That is the pathetic style of our industry now. And ours and aviation industry are the worst affected, and nobody has bothered. 1.5 years of Corona is going. Do not know how long it will continue. But I am with you, Mr. Rahul, and I wanted to take this level. That is why this hospitality show itself I started to bring everyone into one platform and take this further ahead, this movement. And see, we are the people who are all the time on the job, and everybody celebrates their New Year's, Christmas, whatever it is. We were there feeding the people or serving the people, whatever. Of course, we were taking money, but we were doing a very, very honest job in making them happy. And we are being punished like this. I really pity so many people who have stopped their hotels. They don't have money to run their hotels. I know one of the hotelier who had no money to renew this license of FL3 during this pandemic. He kept his wife jewels and renewed this license. And April 5th, we say we are closed for alcohol. We will not be able to serve alcohol. This is where I think it is a very, very nasty game played. What for it is, I do not know. Because I see everything else operational as usual. We are only taken for a ride. Anyhow, that God has to give the strength to us, and God has been giving us the strength. And I wish this conversation goes to the right ears. Now, coming back to our topic, all of things. If Mr. Rahul wouldn't have been a hotelier, what field would have he choose for?
So when I was in my university at University of Kent in Canterbury, I remember I had gone for a Roger Waters concert, Pink Floyd concert
Okay.
at Brighton, and over there they put up a pink pig, a blown up pig, about 10 stories high, and they literally sent it out into the air with a laser light show and a visual show. And I knew it that if I was not in hospitality, I would be in the music industry, either with events or show, or I would try to be a drummer or something with music, because even in my restaurant veranda, we have jazz, acoustic Bollywood, and musical nights 4 to 5 times a week. Before the pandemic, we used to do it. I mean, it's a central theme of even my services at Veranda, where I take care. I tell my brother, "You take care of the kitchen. I'll take care of the entertainment." Because, and my pet name in Veranda is also Rogers, influenced by Roger Waters. So for sure, I would be in the music, related with music industry or something related to that.
Okay. So I can understand this. Mr. Rahul is a good singer as well.
Uh, I mean, I am a little shy, but singing is, yeah, you would call it. I think if a person doesn't sing, he's suffering from depression. In life, in whatever throws at you. Today, you were talking about how our industry, hospitality, we help people celebrate life. You know, when people die, they go to a Shamshan Ghat. And then it took us, the foreign media, to say that the Shamshan Ghat people have not been vaccinated. It took them to point it out. So we also are the people who help celebrate life. They help people celebrate death. I mean, these are the two places where people go out of their homes and they meet strangers and they like to feel empowered, like to feel good. And we help them do that. We are a reflection into their own soul. We help them social interact. We help them be normal. So yes, जब तक आपके मन में कोई अच्छा सा गाना धुन चलता रहे, you are in a good space. Don't worry. Keep singing.
Wonderful. So at the end of the show, I will want you to sing a song for the viewers as well. Now tell me something about your veranda, the modern Indian restaurant. What do you mean by the modern Indian restaurant?
So, when I used to be in the UK, and we used to work for different bars, corky pubs, and everywhere, and we used to get the urge to eat nice Indian food, So we used to go to a typical Indian restaurant in the UK, which was owned by a Bangladeshi,
Okay.
serving curries that we have never heard of in India. Some jalpuri ji and this curry and that curry, korma curry. I mean, we have never heard of these names, and they would serve that. The naans were this thick, and there was an absolute misrepresentation of Indian food all around the world. And people abroad would eat that food and say, "Oh wow, this is a good spicy Indian mix or Bombay mix or whatever." But when we came back to Mumbai, we were like, okay, we have a beautiful hotel located strategically in Bandra at Pali Hill. Most of our customers are coming from Booking.com and are foreigners. We have good embassies. We had Think Global School who stayed with us for nearly, I think, 3 years for every semester and all, for three months. So we were like, okay, there is a need to present India and Indian food in an international format.
Okay.
So when we say modern Indian, we don't mess with the recipe of the food. It
Okay.
is genuine butter chicken. It is genuine chettinad chicken. It is genuine Goan curries. But we present it in the international format, as in it comes with its own starch, it comes with its own fried okra or something, or a condiment, and it comes with the curry. So even the same way with appetizers, we make a dahi balla, which tastes like a dahi balla, but we bake the yogurt, or we use these different, we sweet the chicken a little bit to grill the chicken to make a tangra chicken, which is a Calcutta recipe. So the idea is to present Indian food in a very international format, which is individualistic. And when you entertain your people, or when you have foreigners who come, they look at India, they go like, wow, we didn't know this was Indian food, and we didn't know it's so good. And I think that mantra helped us win the 2019 Best Modern Indian Restaurant, by Elite Magazine, which was presented to us on the Eiffel Tower in Paris. So me and my brother were immensely proud of that. So that is what the journey of Veranda has been. It's a modern Indian restaurant, and now it has adapted to Veranda on Wheels, where we do butter chicken biryanis and rolls and everything, which is, again, like I told you, low cost deliverable items. And we keep, like right now, we're allowed to be open for lunches. So we keep our limited food menu, what we can provide right now, without raising our cost too high at a restaurant space as well.
So my mouth is already watering. I need to visit Veranda as early as possible.
Please.
So how now I understand you are from a Sindhi community, right? And how good are you
Yes.
in following the tradition of the Sindhi community? Because I do have many of my Sindhi friends, many of my mentors, many of my good people who I know from Sindhi community. I can name very beautiful people. Then even my Mr. Raju Manwani, who was my mentor in Lionism, is also from the Sindhi community. So they all do have their traditions. Yesterday was a pakoda day, if I am right. For Sindhi, yesterday was a pakoda day. Today
Yes.
was a pakoda. So how do you follow the tradition, or how does your parent, how does your family follow the tradition of Sindhis?
Okay, let me tell you this straight away. I am
Yeah.
an immensely proud Sindhi. And for Sindhis, for us, the first thing that comes is India. Because India is a country that gave us shelter, that allowed us to be the great entrepreneurs that our Sindhi people have become. And
Yes.
they accepted us. Whether you talk about Maharashtrians with Sindhis, my wife's own my wife's own mother, she's from a Maharashtrian family. She married into a Sindhi. So, or when you look at it, even my mother's family is from Bengal, where its Sindhis have integrated with everywhere they go. They integrate with the people. At the same time, they don't lose their identity. So I can speak Sindhi thanks to my grandparents teaching it to me. And Sindhi houses have some very weird traditions. So every Sunday is Kari Chawal and Dal Pakwan Day. So you can call me any Sunday. You will get Dal Pakwan not only in my house, but also in my hotel for my hotel guests as a
Oh,
morning breakfast.
oh. My
So,
favorite dish is also dal
and
drop in on a Sunday. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So
please,
you are
please,
from being a Sindhi and you follow the Sindhi tradition, right?
yes, and even say thrice a week, Sindhis, we try to be vegetarians. We have that Somvar, Tuesday, Thursday, and these 3 days. I don't think in any Sindhi house you would make anything remotely close to non-veg or eggs. So those are the days we make our sai bhajis and our rollers and our other alus and all other Sindhi yummy dishes. When someday I would love for you to join me and I can maybe prepare some for you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Now coming to our subject, as far as the costing is concerned, what do you think should be the food costing of a cloud kitchen, of a restaurant, and of a banquet hall?
So as far as banquets are concerned, I say banquet is the cash cow of the hotel. That's somewhere you should keep your food cost between 18 to below 20%. You should keep it as less as possible, because that is somewhere where you can actually make your good fat bottom line. Now, cloud kitchen is challenging. You need to keep a similar cost structure like banquets, which is 20, 18, 20, 22% with various items. because a lot of that, more than 10% or 15% from your bottom line is taken away by these aggregators in form of a discounting or a commission, or either one way or another, they are kind of charging you. So keeping the cost in these two areas lower is very important. In a restaurant where you need to bring people into your property and give them an experience, you can take food cost up to 30, 32% also, between 28 to 32%, depending. For a good lamb shank, you can keep it at 32%. For a good vegetarian item, you have a lot of vegetarian items where you keep it at like a 25, 26%, and you do your averaging in a way. So keeping looking at food cost is extremely important because food cost directly impacts your profit. The 5% extra in food cost is almost a 7, 8% or 10% reduction in your profit. So if you catch it there, if you're creating staff meals for your employees from the banquet or from what's left in the cloud kitchen, using smarter cuts. Like we have a brand for chicken wings called Space Wings, where we do 32 types of chicken wings. Wings are a very cheap cut, and staff love chicken wings. Like you can put it in. We make Chinese curries or whatever, and we keep. So it's working with food costs as well as keeping your staff happy, because ultimately, if the staff starts to eye your food cost is never going to be there.
Yes.
So you have to satisfy their stomach and at the same time keep your cost very efficient.
Very true. Very true. Very, very. So, what is the food cost of a cloud kitchen as per you? What should be the food cost of a cloud kitchen?
You should keep it the same as a banquet, 18%, 20%. So for a cloud kitchen, don't go for premium meats. Don't go for premium products. Don't go for high-end stuff. Yes, there are some brands who are doing it, but the way the aggregators work, they are going to take a thick layer from your revenue. So you keep products that have low cost, and you have the margins to work with the aggregators. So rolls, pizzas, biryanis, all these things can keep your costs down. There's no point in having, say, a crab dish for a delivery, because you're going to end up having wastages. It's going to get rancid. It's going to create storage issues. You might as well remove a lot of your seafood items. You can keep farm prawns. You can keep a few cheap mutton cuts like botis and all, but don't go into the territory of doing premium cuts of meat and premium seafood and all, because it is going to burn you out. You're not going to be able to justify your cost.
Very true. Very true. Very true. So, let me ask you a question. After the past 45 minute conversation, I feel Rahul gets strength where? What is the source of strength? And what do you think is your biggest strength?
I think my biggest strength is my family. I mean, we all work together, we live together, we fight together. In the end, we are all in the dinner table, all of our swollen faces, we are sitting and eating food together. My biggest strength is my family, which has made me today. And I think COVID removed my fear of death somewhere. So that has given me the ability to face challenges head on without caring about the consequences. If you see even today, I have not spared or minced any words to talk about any government or anybody, because I think it's time that we all should have a voice. We should face these challenges and we should do something about it. Whoever is in front of us, let us also understand why it cannot be solved. That has been my attitude.
True. True that. True that. True that. So, as we draw close to the show, it was 1 hour. I did not know that 1 hour has gone. The conversation has gone for an hour. Usually, I think I should have kept the conversation for more time with you, because you are an encyclopedia by yourself. Because food cost and everything, the way you put forth is something very, very nice message to most of the people who are watching this show. And let me ask you a very last question. What are your future plans, and where do we see the Executive Enclave Group in the year 2024?
So I don't know, I would call myself a very content person somewhere. I'm getting life where I'm giving a lot of time to my children. I'm feeling very content. I think God's been so kind. I don't need to be greedy. So I'm not looking to open 100 hotels. In my lifetime, if I can open one resort where everything is from farm to table, and I do the interiors of that place with completely sustainable swimming pools, natural pools, and having my own solar, having my own sewage treatment plant, making my own manure, doing my own hard work over there, getting dirty in the field and doing all that. I would like to find myself in some place, either in a resort type of place, doing that, and I would really enjoy that for the rest of my life. I think in that my lesson what I've taken even out of this pandemic has been the importance of hard work.
Yeah.
As a society, as Indians, we don't give enough importance to the aspect of being a failure. I would love to fail. Abroad, when you fail 100 times, they call it research and development. But in
Yes.
India, because of our collectivist mindset, we put taboo on that person. Oh, he's like that. Oh, he's like this. Oh, he's. But the reality is that the person who's failing is again and again trying. And because he's failing and again trying, he's hardworking. And that is what we should expect from our leaders today. We should expect them to be hardworking. We shouldn't be expecting them to be jumlebaz or coming and saying, making big master strokes, because master strokes don't work. What works is every day doing, we have done 10 things wrong. We have done, say, we tried to do a vaccination drive and a lot of people came and there was a problem there and this, that. We ran around, we broke our backs. The next day we corrected it. It helped us sharpen our own processes that at Podar School we were able to do 4,700 people in 14 hours, which is one of the largest vaccination drives held in India by a private person, by a private group of people. It is about that hard work and creating a collectivist. You don't have to put yourself in the middle. You don't have to take credit today of anything. You have to make it something that people believe in. And people get inspired to do that. When people believe in that thing, they're going to do it. And they're going to work hard. And they're going to fail. And we should applaud them for failing. Because when they'll fail, eventually they'll learn how to be a successful person. And that is how we reach our success as a nation or nation building or individually as well.
Very nice. Very nicely put across, Mr. Rahul. It was wonderful having you on the show. And please count me in wherever you need. Ananth Vaidyanathan can be of help to you anywhere. I am just a phone call away, and I am really will be wanting to work with you. Whatever, let it be a charity, let it be anything for a poor, anything for the needy, or anything. You can count me in. And even for the fighting of our own hospitality brothers and sisters, I am with you, and let us all make it happen. And let us kick this corona off and let us bounce back like rhinos. Thank you so much for having you on the show,
Yes.
Mr. Rahul. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish
Thank you.
you. I call you for the next time when it is for 1.5 hours or so. Yeah. Now, can I ask technical head Mr. Pradeep Jodhani and Dimple Madani to come on the screen and thank Mr. Our chief guest of the evening.
Thank you, Rao sir. Thank you, Rao sir. Thank you.
Jodhani, sir. He's also a
Thank
Sindhi
you.
gentleman,
Thank you so much.
a very helpful gentleman. And
Okay.
Thank you so much, Nandaya. Thank you so much. And may
Asajo.
proud Mr. Rahul was feeling about being a Sindhi. Anyhow, over to you, Dimple.
Thank you, sir. As we draw close to the 11th episode of the Hospitality Show, I would like to thank Mr. Pradeep Jodhani, the technical head of the show, Dr. Ananth Vaidyanathan, the creator and visionary for this wonderful event, and Mr. Rahul Rora, our honorable chief guest, for making this show super successful. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our online viewers who has contributed equally for being a part of this wonderful event. So ladies and gentlemen, till our next event, signing off from the show, Dimple Madhani, good night and Shubhratri. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul, for being there in the show, and hope everybody enjoyed the show. And we shall be back the next week, the same time at 7 p.m. IST. If anybody has missed out on the show, you can see it on Facebook and Dr. Ananth Vaidyanathan in YouTube as well. Do share your comments and let us make this hospitality show a great grand success. Here we have next year a young entrepreneur who has achieved a lot in a small age and is still growing big things. The managing director, Mr. Nikhil of Arelo Hotels in Mumbai, Silvassa, and Lonavala. So he'll be as our chief guest next week. Until then, take care of yourself, take care of the kids, take care of the elderly. Wear mask whenever you are out because mask is a must. With this, I conclude my show. Thank you so much. Shabakher. Love you all.